Hi all, welcome to my YouTube channel, The Testing Instinct. In this video, I will be discussing about GraphQL API Introduction and Testing. So I have given a description about GraphQL, its types, and when to use GraphQL over REST, and an example for a GraphQL with a query. So I am going through the notepad content which I have written here. So GraphQL is a query language for APIs and a runtime for fulfilling those queries with your existing data. GraphQL provides a complete and understandable description of the data in your API, gives clients the power to ask for exactly what they need and nothing more, makes it easier to evolve APIs over time, and enables powerful developer tools. So GraphQL is a query language. So we can ask for the exact data, and GraphQL API will be returning the exact data which we ask for, nothing more than that. That is one advantage of GraphQL over REST. Now we can discuss about GraphQL types. There are three types of GraphQL. First one, query. Query retrieves the data from the server. Queries specify the required data fields and can include arguments for more precise data retrieval. The second type is mutation. Mutation manipulates data on the server, including creating, updating, or deleting records. Mutations specify the fields to be returned after the operation and use arguments to detail the manipulation. So for creation, updation, and deletion, we will be using GraphQL type called mutation, and for getting data from the server, we will be using query type. There is another type that is called subscription. Subscription gets real-time data updates from the server. Subscription enable clients to listen to specific fields and receive updates automatically over a persistent connection. We will be majorly using query and mutation type. So next, I have given another section where we are discussing when to use GraphQL versus REST APIs. So you can use GraphQL and REST APIs interchangeably. However, there are some use cases where one or the other is a better fit. For example, GraphQL is likely a better choice if you have these considerations. You have limited bandwidth and you want to minimize the number of requests and responses. You have multiple data sources and you want to combine them at one endpoint. You have client requests that vary significantly and you expect very different responses. So in case of GraphQL, there will be a single endpoint. So we can reduce the number of request and responses, and these endpoints will be using the post HTTP method and will be giving the status code as 200. So that is one difference between GraphQL and REST. So now I will be discussing about the consideration for REST. So you have smaller application with less complex data. You have data and operations that all clients use similarly. You have no requirements for complex data querying. So these are the cases when we have to prefer REST over GraphQL. So in case of GraphQL, there will be a single endpoint, and these endpoints will be using HTTP method post, and they will be returning 200 status code. There are mainly three types of GraphQL. One is query, other is mutation, and the other is subscription. So here I have also given an example for GraphQL API. So this is the endpoint. So you can see I have given a query. So this query has got a name, get country. We can avoid this query name as well. So I will show that in the demo. So but it is a better practice to give a query a name. In case of mutation also, you can give a name to that mutation. So in this video, I will be only covering about the query part. In the upcoming videos, I will be covering about the mutation type, the using of variables and method chaining, and the assertion adding test as well. So I am going straight to the demo. I have opened Bruno. So I have created a collection called GraphQL here. So I am adding a new GraphQL API request under this collection. So I am clicking on this new request button. Now I am checking the GraphQL type. So make sure you are checking the GraphQL type. Then I am giving a name for this particular request. So this is a get country details request. By default, if you choose GraphQL, Bruno will be giving the HTTP method as post. Now you have to give the endpoint here and just copying the endpoint here. I am pasting the endpoint. I have created the request. Now in the query tab, by default the Bruno will be selecting the query tab. Now we have to give the query here. To give that, I am copying the query from here. I am pasting it in the query tab. So what this query is doing is that when you give the country code, we are asking the server to return the country details of country with the code IN. So this particular query will be giving the name of the country, native, capital, emoji, currency, languages, code and name. So we are asking for this particular data, and the server will be returning the exact thing that we have asked using the query. So we can verify it. I am saving the request. I am sending the request. You can see it have returned the details of the country India. So even if you remove this query name, it will give the result, but it is a better practice to give name to the query. So I have removed the query name. I am saving the request and I am sending the request again. So it have given the result even if you have removed the query name, but it is better practice to add the query name. So this is how you can test GraphQL API request in Bruno. So the response will be JSON, so we can do the assertion similar to REST. So there is no difference when it comes to assertion of the other things. The only difference is these types. So there will be query type, mutation type, and there will be subscription. You will be primarily using query and mutation. I will be covering the important topics related to GraphQL API testing in the upcoming videos. So please stay tuned for that. I believe this video was useful for everyone. If you find this video useful, please consider subscribing the channel. Thanks for watching and keep learning.